Hi, I'm Caitlin. I'm going to share my story with you guys about my journey with Turner syndrome, and I feel like this will help spread awareness as well to people who don't even know their kids have it, maybe, and just in general to spread awareness to see what we go through to just teach doctors everything that you can about it. So when I was super little, before my diagnosis, I wasn't growing, or like barely growing. And then on top of that, at the age of 3, I had to get tubes put in my ears because I kept getting ear infections, and that's like super common with girls with Turner syndrome. And then, on top of that, then I was 4, and I had to get my tonsils removed because, like, and this doesn't sound like so gross, I had sleep apnea back then too, but I got it again because you can grow out of it, and I grew out of it for a little bit, but I got it again. But that's a different story. Going on. Now I would have to like eat my food and then put it back on my plate and then eat it again. It's so gross and but it was fixed after I got my tonsils removed, and I did that at the age of 4. My first hospitalization was at the age of 4 as well. At least I think that was my first hospitalization. That's the first one I can remember. I'll put it that way. I got sick a lot growing up. Like, I have a lot of autoimmune problems, as well. And so, like, I swear my body hates me. So I was sick a lot, growing up. And then I remember at the age of 4, they started doing different testing on me, like an echocardiogram. And then I got, that's when we found out that I had the, I don't know the exact age I found out about it, but they did like a lot of blood work and everything else at the age of 4 to find out like what was wrong, like why wasn't she growing. And then, because I have a mitral valve prolapse, so they looked at that and then they did a whole bunch of testing. And then at the age of 5, 5.5, I got diagnosed with Turner's. Shortly after, I ended up having a home visit from a nurse who taught my mom how to give me shots appropriately and like what to do. You know, ice your legs for like 10 minutes, and then it'll numb it so you won't really feel it, etc. with that aspect. And then that obviously introduced me to a different doctor. I can't stress enough though, like I got sick a lot. Like I would only go to school like maybe 100 days a year, maybe, because of all my doctor's appointments I had to go through and the surgeries, procedures, whatever I needed done. Honestly, I've gone through a lot, but I just try not to think of it as a lot. But I have gone through a liver biopsy, which is when we got the firm diagnosis that I have autoimmune hepatitis, which basically means your body's attacking your liver, and you're awake during that, and they obviously like try to twilight zone you, but you know what's going on. Like I remember it clear as day. Partly probably because I was panicking, so I get like really bad anxiety. You know, and a part of our anxiety with girls with Turners is because like when we were growing up, you know, all the kids were like, why are you so little? What's wrong with you? Like constantly. And then I even had a few teachers join in. You know, I was like the kid. I'm a very outgoing person, and I had like the teachers carrying me around everywhere when I was little. I remember that. That was awesome. And like showing me off, especially when I was in like first grade, size of like, I was like 40 pounds in first grade, if that, 35, 40 pounds. So I was like super little. And then I was like 5, I think I was 5 or 6. And then I met with a counselor at school and got diagnosed with ADHD. So that was that. That wasn't too bad of a testing from what I remember. We went to Illinois to visit right after my appointment or whatever that was. And then, you know, my mom really couldn't work because of all my issues I had. But like, because I've also had, my deviated septum fixed because I like couldn't breathe out of my nose forever. And I kept getting like infections in my nose. I don't know. It was weird. But we got the deviated septum fixed. I was like 15 when that happened. I did it in the summer. And that was like the grossest recovery I've had. And then I have IBS. And then I had to get a colonoscopy, obviously, for the diagnosis. That was the most awkward recovery process ever. like, not recovery, because it's not really much recovery, but I woke up to a nurse pulling up my pants. That was pretty weird. And she even laughed about it, because I gave her a weird look, but that's besides the point. And then, I'm trying to think of what else I've had done. I had the bone density testing done. And that's where they put, like, a triangle between your legs, and then they'll, like, Velcro your legs there to hold your legs still in there. So that's kind of like a crazy, but it's basically an x-ray after they do that to you. It's not so bad. And then on top of that, and again, if you have any questions about anything that I'm telling you, please don't hesitate to ask me. I'm an open book about all of this as well. Medical issues are obviously, basically Turner's causes everything. We're prone to a lot in autoimmune problems. Well, I found out I have Raynaud syndrome, which basically if I get cold, or if I get too cold, my hands are always, and feet are going to be colder. Because, like, my blood vessels will restrict when I get colder, so, like, my hands will turn purple. And that's a sign of Raynaud syndrome, and you have to have, like, special gloves in the winter and stuff like that, for that aspect. I got hospitalized quite a bit for breathing issues, pneumonia, a lot. I got probably, like, a good, like, 4 or 5 times in my life I've been in the hospital for that. But what the time before last time, they found out I had asthma and constrictive airway disease. In that, I had the best doctor, the home doctor I could have. His name was Dr. Abbas. I love Dr. Abbas. He fought for me, like, he knew. And I had facial cellulitis, when I was in 9th grade. That was, not 9th grade, 10th grade. That was scary. I'll explain what that was, but basically you're prone to it again. So I got that quite a bit, and then it came from strep. Every time I get strep, I get cellulitis. Like, there's no ands or buts. Like, I can't even tell you. I've had, like, cellulitis, like, 4 or 5 times right now at this point in my life. You know, my family was really great, and with my whole diagnosis and being there for all my medical stuff, I had my gallbladder removed. I was 18 when I had my gallbladder removed, and I'm sorry, I'm going out of order. It's just kind of me rambling, and then all of diagnosis go with, like, a lot of my diagnosis go with blood work, too. And then I had a sleep study done. That sucked. I hate sleep studies, but, I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do for a diagnosis, so I basically let doctors just tell me what to do, and I do it. But I'm fortunate, though, at the same time, because I'm alive, where I'm that 2%, and that's kind of great. And I got diagnosed when I got officially diagnosed with pre-ovarian failure at the age of 18. So, and that was a bit hard of a pill to swallow, because I love kids. Like, I want kids one day, and I will. But I got fur babies for now. There was a point in my life in middle school as well that I was, like, vomiting all the time, like, every day. Just, like, once a day. My mom took me to Children's. They couldn't find out, but you have to have, like, an upper and lower IG, it's called. And, okay, so what that is, because I'll explain that one, is it sucks. You have to drink this nasty stuff, and then they watch it, like, go down your throat and stuff on a scan. And I spit it up back out of the nurse because she told me it tastes good, but it really didn't. I don't do liquid. I really don't do liquid. So, anyway, and then, like, they take this ball on a stick, and then they, like, roll it on your stomach at the end of it, because you have to wait. It's out. That test is, like, 3 to 4 hours long. I think it was 3 to 4. That or was 2 to 3. It was a long time for that test. And then, I have also had this one test where I had to drink a whole bunch of chalk, like 2 huge cups of this chalk stuff to, like, light up my insides by my liver, and then they put me in, like, an MRI. That was gross. I've had that done. I've had a lot of testing done. I've had those for, I don't know if anybody knows this, you have a high chance of getting, losing nerve hearing in our ears, so we have to, I call it sit in our refrigerator, because, like, when I was little, like, that's what it was. They're different now. But anyway, that's besides the point. You have to go in there every, like, they recommend every, like, couple years, so about every 2 years to 5 years-ish. I do it between 2 and 5 years. I get my hearing tested, because we can lose our hearing. So I've gone through that. I'm sure there's more I'm missing. I've honestly have, like, I was told I have, like, a 7, 8-year-old medical chart at this point in my life. I was just sick a lot, you know, and getting a lot of blood work, testing, and dealing with it. When I get sick for a while. I'm down for about a while. I've been hurt in car accidents, but that's not medical, so I'm not going to get into those. But because of it, I had the procedure called dry needling. You're awake for that, and they just, like, poke needles deep in your tissue, and make it spasm. I've had that done. I've had, I don't know, just a lot. I broke my leg, and a day before my birthday in 3rd grade. Oh my god, and I had a swimming party. It was the day before my birthday, 2 days before my party. So that was fun. That was fun. I'm sure there's more I'm missing, but off the top of my head, that's all. And I hope you enjoyed this video of a little bit of what I endured. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to message me, call me. I'll answer.